Now, here we have then a number of files that we know are particularly useful for this project and for particular topics in this project, right? So, but what if you want to indicate that some of these files are particularly useful with respect to this project, more so than the other files in this project? Well, you can tag them and you can define your tagging system. And we've already seen in the previous section that you can tag files according to their caliber. So this is a high caliber file, but we've distinguished between caliber and utility. A file might be very high caliber, but you might not actually need to exploit it very much in a paper that you're writing or some knowledge that you're creating. So what you can do is use a different tag. In this case, I've defined the tag called actually, I've used the dollar symbol here to keep it short, and that for me means that it's got high utility, high usefulness. So that's kind of a binary rating. It's either has a tag or it doesn't. Okay, so here I've indicated that this tag, that this document here is particularly useful. So then I can scan this folder, and I could very quickly see that where my most useful files are, right? And it's always relative to the particular folder that we're in. And as I showed you earlier with Command Option F, you can actually search for this. So here's a bunch of very useful files. I've got over 200 files here, and I can quickly find the ones that are the most useful. Now you might notice in my search here that I've got different tags that are available. I've got $5, $3, 2, 4, and actually I could have a 1 as well. So what that is there for is basically to, it allows me to apply a quantitative metric should I want to do that, which I don't always want to do. But instead of having just a binary useful versus not flagged as useful, I could actually quantitatively say, you know what, this is a 3, 4, or 5. Now, we've discussed the limitations of quantitative rating, but a lot of people like to use star systems. So if you'd like to do that, you can actually define tags that will allow you to do that. Now, if you would like to see high caliber documents throughout your hard drive, not just in this folder, then you can expose that tag here. You click on that tag, and then you'll see, say, all of these very useful documents. But, you know, utility in a global way, as a global measure across the your entire hard disk here, does not actually mean that much, you know, because helpfulness is always relative to a project, right? Something may be very helpful for one project, but that doesn't mean anything with respect to, it may not mean anything with respect to other projects, right? Why it's okay to merely apply utility to aliases, because they don't propagate to the original file, and that doesn't matter because a file is not useful in any absolute sense. It's always relative to your project. So now we've seen how to apply tags in the Finder to designate the utility and the caliber of various files. Which particular symbols you use doesn't particularly matter, which colors you use, of course, but the idea is, of course, to use them consistently. And at first, you might just want to write a little sticky note for yourself to indicate, you know, to keep track of what your system is, and then you'll get the hang of it very quickly and be able to use it.